What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Old World AI only battle. We continue into turn 260. We're getting through the game now into the modern era. Some civs more modern than others. Korea particularly modern, one of my picks, so that's nice. I didn't jinx them too bad. That's good. They're overcoming it so far. I don't really know who's winning still. I think Rome, Russia, Korea have all put some good stamps on that one. Congo's doing pretty well as well, so hard to count them out. And by the time, I don't know when we will do the results, which is always a bit concerning, isn't it? Because that can put in some room for bias. Maybe if this is the episode, you want to let me know when should I do them. I feel like 300 is too soon. Maybe 350. I tried to do them before the civs reach 80 tech, because then that kind of, I don't know why. I guess I could just not use technology. I don't know, whenever works, I guess. But this one maybe is more important, so maybe we should just decide. And especially since I have a pick that's still alive, it seems a bit unfair if I choose when, based on how they... I wouldn't, but it's always in like, it might, even if I'm not trying to, it might influence things a bit, if that makes sense. You know, a bit of bias towards, picking when's a good time for Korea. But I wouldn't do that, or I'd try not to. But like sometimes it might just coincidentally happen. So if we pick a time, drop some comments. In this episode we'll pick when the ending is, and then then it's over. It doesn't matter, it's sorted before we get to that point. But yeah, I'd say 350 or 400 probably good options. The only worry is that the info addicts don't open then, but I think we'll be okay. I should be able to get them open if I open it and don't do anything, like just open the game, go into the strategic view, do all that stuff. Should be fine, I would hope. It's mostly running okay. We did have a crash, but that was like a while ago, and that was, I think that was that wasn't to do with anything. That was just weird. I don't know what that was. I think performance wise it's fine. We do still have some wars going on, of course, focusing on the action. Babylon is under siege. We'll see how this goes. I'll keep an eye on it, because that is a healthy chunk of damage. I think they should be fine, but you never know. There is a few wars here. I think the Ottomans and Ethiopia are going at it as well. Western Europe is quiet. France have a ton of planes. Okay. Did they always have them? What is going on? Why is that? Okay, that menu didn't freeze. It just looked like it did. See, North America starting to fill up. I mean, there's still more than enough space, and Central America is still wide open. And Japan is actually here, so they will take a bit of that for themselves. They will move on from their old home to a new one. They might be the first civ to be completely exiled, which could be interesting, because it's added incentive to settle more, I think. Maybe. I don't know how the AI works these things out. But for these other civs, it's just like extra cities and territory. But for Japan, if this was all they had, which I know it's not at the moment, but it could become that one day, that might encourage them to be a bit more aggressive towards like the other countries around them. Probably not, but potentially. In terms of the wonders, Old Faithful still available. The Grand Mesa here will probably go to Poland, maybe Harappa, and the Barringer Crater did go to Harappa, as well as some copper, some sugar, a lot of copper, some silver as well. So they really, and a landmark. So they got a lot out of this city. That was a very good settlement for them. South America, Portugal certainly the main civ now down here with 3 cities and another settler, so they should have 4 very soon. We do have the Zulu, Ethiopia, and France here, and a lot of French ships in the South Atlantic as well. So I cross over here. Burundi struggling. The Zulus slowly brute forcing their way in. I mean, Ethiopia have artillery, and the Congo do as well. So and planes. So if one of them was to join, this would be over pretty quick. But it could get interesting, I guess, if the Zulu were to take this. I mean, it doesn't really help. It's not exactly like a super landing point to just invade Ethiopia. It's pretty difficult to get out of, just as it is difficult to get into. But yeah, you can see around Africa, there is some pretty advanced civs. Nubia has, pretty much up-to-date Bar Korea technology, as does Congo, as does Ethiopia, kind of nearly. Songhai a bit further behind. The Zulu are, yeah, they're just about there. Maybe a bit behind. They don't seem to have artillery, so maybe they're a bit behind, but they're ahead of Songhai by the look of it. Morocco seems okay, and that is the big event. That is, just kind of first few turns sort of ignoring it. I think it's going to take a while, because Morocco was pretty well prepared to defend themselves. But they are, of course, fighting Rome, Portugal, and Mali. Now, only Mali has planes of those attackers, weirdly enough. The smallest one. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Portugal already starting to siege Marrakesh. You can see Mali's distracting their land units, which has allowed Portugal to land some around Marrakesh, and Rome has kind of stayed out of it. For these early turns, they've actually backed off, so I don't know exactly. I think they may be scared of planes, because they don't have them, so that would be quite a surprise if you don't know what a plane is and you're just sat on a frigate and you just start getting bombed by a great war bomber. That would be pretty scary. So maybe Rome has backed off just a little bit for now, but I'm sure that will get more interesting. Germany looks pretty good here, stacked with units. Will we get something like Germany, Poland, Wallachia, Finland? Like, it would just be nice to see them kind of, I don't know, merge. Someone take all of it or whatever, form like a new big empire, but that's probably not going to happen. Even, I don't want to, you know, encourage another big civ, but if Russia were to attack one of them and just absorb it, it would be interesting. But we'll see. They have been pretty peaceful for a while here in the middle of the map, which is, I don't know, surprising, I guess. I feel like they would have done the most, but compared to Rome and Korea. But that's not the case, which is fine. How is Babylon getting on? It is still slow. I think those Harappan cannons did a good job, but now they've been killed. The Ottomans and Ethiopia are kind of distracting each other to the side. So yeah, Babylon kind of okay for now. And we'll continue to focus on Morocco here. Should be the main event. I'm keeping an eye out for that Japanese settler as well, expecting that at some point. If it leaves Central America, that would be quite funny. I don't know why no one's just settling there, but I'm guessing Japan will head up somewhere. Would be cool to get a canal. There's see the 4 possibilities. I think this one as well. Yeah, is that 1, 2, 3, 4 possibilities for that. Hopefully we get it. It'd be kind of cool if we did. I mean, we got one. I can't ask for more, and it's not really been used much because of the border gore. As you can see, it's like you need at least 3 sets of open borders just to sort of access it, really. It's kind of a mess, and 2 if you go from this side. So it's not super worth it, but I think it does help every civ here, particularly the Mediterranean civs, even the Black Sea, Ottoman cities. And I guess these civs as well, sort of in South or in India, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, East Africa, because the cargo ships will be able to flow through. I don't know how far the range would be at this point normally, whether you could go the whole way around Africa, but I doubt it. I couldn't imagine India could trade with the European civ, but with this, they probably can, if they want to. I don't know if that works out gold-wise, but they might be doing that, which is, it does change it. It really influences the game. This won't be so important because it's later in the game, but still, it's kind of cool. And obviously, whichever civ it is, and I think anyone who gets open borders with them, I'm not really sure, I think can pass through, so obviously that saves a lot of time. I mean, I don't know if again, it's not that useful. I don't think anyone's going to launch like a huge invasion. I don't see Portugal or France sending all their army through here and then just showing up on, you know, to attack Korea or something. I don't know, just a random scenario. I don't see that happening, but you know what I mean. It could be useful, but it's probably not going to be. Anyway, Morocco still, yeah, they're starting to look a little thin on units. They're starting to get thinned out. Mali's beginning to siege Fez here, which again will just suck in resources as Marrakesh is under pretty constant attack. Babylon just entered the modern era, and they've recovered pretty much. There's nothing going on in East Asia, right? There is something. I don't know if India's fighting Mongolia and it's just not going well, or something weird's going on here. They are probably still a top 10 civ. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch because I just mentioned how many good civs there are in Africa. I don't know. Then in Europe, you'd only really maybe say France and Portugal above Mongolia. So yeah, Mongolia might still be in the top 10, despite some of their struggles. So that's good for them. And here we have it, Portugal just trying their best. It's not quite working yet. That lack of planes and artillery, to be fair, Portugal does not seem to have any artillery. I mean, if they just sat a couple here, that would allow them to bombard Marrakesh pretty comfortably, or land some, you know, here in the Western Sahara from behind. Mali doesn't have it either, so that is definitely helping Morocco. And the lack of anti-air presence definitely allows them to do stuff, but Rome is now moving in with a lot more ships, which will suffocate Morocco even more to their north. No room for manoeuvre. Thebes is still very low, but there is no units here to take it. Oh, I think Congo is just bombing it strategically at the moment. That might be why. They will probably... Yeah, once these infantry... That's not their infantry. Wherever their infantry is. Oh, maybe they don't have open borders anymore. Oh. No, they might do. They look like... Well, Nubia does, so I'm guessing Congo might do. But that's probably what's going on. I also see some citadel spam here towards the Songhai. Germany joining in on the war on Morocco. I'm not sure how they'll get involved in that. It would be quite funny if they just came and took everything, but that is probably not going to happen. Russia completes the Cristo Redentor wonder in... Is that Moscow? It is Moscow. I thought you needed... No, you don't need a mountain for that. I was going to say, there's no mountains here. But there we go, and they get that one done. Japan has settled as we get another autocracy for Babylon. Congo is settled in the middle of the French cities. That's perfect. Right in the middle. Portugal are yet to put that settler down. I saw it head back north. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. And Japan also picked their city within the Gulf of Mexico, on the Mexico side. So they will... There you go. New home for them. Not on the Pacific side, on the Atlantic sort of side. France will probably cut them off soon anyway, but there you go. They've picked a new home. A safe getaway if Korea decides to take Kyoto here in the north. Nubia denouncing Babylon. Okay. But we'll keep an eye on this so far. But yeah, a real lack of planes hurting the invaders. I mean, Rome, Portugal and Mali is a really strong team. Morocco's doing a great job. Congo completes the Kremlin. I think they're dragging themselves into this game, into contention, Congo. I mean, if they could get Thebes, that would be amazing. They just need to find out how to get them. Well, I guess you just build them. Oh no, they can't because these are both puppets. I say that, the AI has a way of, you know, pulling off things that shouldn't be possible, so they might be able to sneak one out of these puppeted cities. But yeah, if they could get Thebes, that would be huge, because I mean, it's probably only going to drop to like 15 in worst case scenario. You've already got two 28s as well, so they are a pretty solid empire here. But yeah, Morocco putting up a solid defense right now, although they are getting starved, I think, in Marrakesh. But yeah, Rome's fleet, they're just 100, yeah, triple-digit city defences and frigates and privateers being the main weapons or units. Not going to go well. Casablanca's also sat here in the middle, just bombarding anything that comes too close to the middle. They have planes, they have a frigate in this city, they have cannons shooting off the coast here. They're in an okay spot. But yeah, I mean, if Portugal turns up with artillery, that might change things. Also, Rome lacks artillery, so... yeah, they're not as good as we thought, I think. Maybe I think they got too big too soon. Like, Korea grew more not naturally. This was very unnatural recently, but I don't know. Korea just... they, you know, probably had similar science with way less cities, and obviously are a more science-focused civ, and it's worked out for them. They have a lot of pot cities in the 20. All of 6 of these in sort of this main region around this sea are there. And then they have the smaller offshoots as well. These two are growing at a okay pace. Harappa, you have planes now. Are you... they're still going to try with Babylon, I guess. I'm wondering, will they go for India? I think we've got the weirdest... I think Ethiopia, I can't remember, I'm not going to check, but I think it's like Ethiopia v Persia and the Ottomans. Harappa v Babylon. That's just the most awkward based on the map. It's about as awkward as it could be. So that's not really going to lead to any imminent conquests in that region. Not really any rush to add more settlers to the Americas. I don't see any. Oh, there's a Zulu. A couple of Zulu ones actually heading over. My mistake. I don't think there's any crossing the Pacific. Korea has not really shown any interest in it either. Australia's stayed the same for a while. New Zealand's been untouched. Yeah, a lot of these islands. The wonder here is just the one tile left. I'm sure Harappa would love to get their hands on that if they could. But yeah, the Atlantic. No, it's not really closing up yet. Still plenty of space to squeeze through between the French cities and Portugal's borders. But here we go. I think Rome. I'm going to make a bit of a prediction here. I would not be surprised if Rome pieced out first and took a city or two in the peace deal. It's their turn now. I mean, they are attacking, but if Morocco feels threatened enough, whoever pieces out first might just get a really good deal. It could definitely happen. But Portugal's still trying. Rome's still trying. Mali is struggling, which is a surprise. But yeah, Morocco defending very well. I'm not even sure the Songhai would help. I was just thinking, could anything change it? But yeah, those mountains, they probably won't be able to help too much. But we can keep an eye on it anyway. But yeah, they are just not really making a dent. Lacking in the firepower. I mean, look at Rome's city defenses, right? 80, 60, 90, 90 at best. These are 112s. Like, Morocco has been prepared for this. They are ready for this, and they are putting up a good defense. Yeah, actually, just looking, Morocco's are some of the highest I can see. I mean, Mali's are in the 60s, 180, 60s and 50s there. Yeah, also Thebes is very low again. But again, Congo just lacking that melee unit. I mean, if Nubia was to join in now, it'd be great timing. You just sort of go up. There's not a road, but just come from like 3 different sides. One from the north, one from the east, one from the south. I'm sure you could get it for yourselves. Ethiopia's become quite a force, but they are heavily invested in the Arabian Peninsula. So yeah, this is where all the action is. The rest of Europe is very quiet. Same for Asia. So North Africa is the battlegrounds at the moment, and Burundi. But the Zulu seem to have fallen back again. Once they get artillery and planes, they should get that job done. Or maybe Congo will come and finish it off. The one thing I'd worry about if I was Mali, Congo could sort of come in from behind, grab this city and then move their way up pretty quickly. That would be pretty brutal. Or they could just devour Songhai before you have really any chance to react. Because yeah, Morocco putting up, as mentioned, a solid defense so far. Never really looked under threat, despite fighting certainly two of the bigger forces, I would have thought. Zulu, got my hopes up. Not so important. Persia, just spaced out all over the map. I don't even know who is important when they invade Persia. The most, like a Civ, can probably take 1 city. Mongolia kind of has access to 2. But that's it. Mali and Burundi, peace out. Thank goodness they didn't give anything to Burundi. Mali didn't give anything to Burundi. That would have been the craziest one yet. Wallachia has walked the whole way round, which is quite impressive, to try and get to Constantinople from the other side, but I still don't hold too much hope for them. You never know. Anything could happen, I guess. But that seems unlikely. And yeah, Russia just not interested at all, it seems, in any kind of conflict. Maybe they just think they can win, which I guess the Info Addicts kind of suggests that they've been competing. I don't think we've looked since Korea took Japan, and they'd only just taken Siam, so they may have be starting to climb even more in those categories. Rome is clearly struggling as well, so that's interesting to see. We'll look at the demographics just to see how things are going. Yeah, still, look, Russia's still heavily doing well on 3 of them, so peace deal there does not really matter. Burundi. Oh, Mongolia heard what we said. They go after Persia. They may get a couple of sort of 1 population tundra cities out of that. Korea's leading land and literacy. Congo still has the most troops. And yeah, then Rome only leads on production. Apart from that, not leading in any other categories. So yeah, maybe that is why Russia are not rushing into anything, because whatever they go for is going to be brutal as well. It's not. There's no real easy path for them here, especially when everyone else around them's been at peace for so long. I mean, Wallachia might be the easy option if they had planes, which they don't, which is surprising because they're pretty big. You'd think they'd have oil. But yeah, I mean, even with artillery, you've got to squeeze through a 2-tiled gap. The best way to probably do it is ask Poland to help you. And then sort of, you have to make sure Poland don't take it, because then, but that might be the best way, but I don't know. I'm sure the AI will figure something out. I'm sure we've not seen the end of them. As the Zulu arrive with another settler and another one on the way. That Portuguese one is still looking for a good spot, which could then see it heading towards a canal. You never know. Let's just see more units. But yeah, there's no one in a position to like conquer other people out here. So that's all good. They can all be friends. England and France have denounced Japan and Finland. Mongolia actually has a load of planes here, so they can bombard Persia pretty badly. So yeah, we might see Persia lose a couple cities here. They get a peace deal with Germany, which is again not the biggest of wars, but there we go. That's over. Is Finland trading with North American German cities? It is, okay. Oh, the problem is Rome's production's so high. I was going to say, do you think Finland... I think France could actually... They just defend here and then take Hamburg. That's not impossible. They could do that. But again, they won't, because they'll see that, you know, Rome is probably third, fourth, second biggest army and just say no. But if they really wanted to, like, they could hold the line here and probably get Hamburg. It's a bit of a risk because you may not hold it, but I reckon they could hold that. And obviously it's Paris as well. I'm not sure you'd want to do that gamble, but if you were playing, maybe that's something you could think about. But yeah, an episode here where Morocco have put up a fantastic defense. Just not showing any weakness. I mean, obviously they've been pillaged a lot. I've seen Marrakesh has dropped from 15 last time to 12 in population, but they're just using their air force, their units, the geography, whatever it is, it's working for them, because they are being attacked from 3 sides. There's just that sort of Songhai to the east that aren't, so it's impressive what they're putting up. And Thebes is just sat at 0. I feel like it might go soon. I know these aren't melee units, but when we're looking away, I just feel like the AI can do things, you know. I feel like it might happen. We've definitely seen it before, like a little cheat or whatever. Maybe not a cheat, maybe I'm just bamboozled, but I feel like it could probably happen. They do seem to be sending some troops up as well from down here, so soon that might go. But anyway, that will be it for today's episode. We're at turn 270. Do obviously let me know when you'd like to see sort of the results, and also just, you know, do comment if you think it's starting to feel a bit slow and we can maybe switch into highlights. Obviously I'll sort of try and gauge a bigger opinion, but I know we only did like we did 11 turns this episode, so you know that would yeah, we're getting there. We're getting to that point where I'll probably show you every 10-15 turns, or then once it gets really late, maybe 50 if nothing's going on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.